Hey everyone, it's Antonia Marquis, and today I want to talk to you all about bullying. So I'm going to try not to ramble on too much because there is truly so much that I've gone through, and I'm obviously not going to be able to tell you all everything because it's just, for one, overwhelming and kind of sad, and two, it's just a lot to say and let alone remember, and I don't want to really remember all of the things that have been done to me. A lot of you don't know that I have been bullied very badly ever since first grade, and maybe even in kindergarten, I can't remember, but the first instance that I remember was first grade. And at that time, so many people were calling me a boy, and it really messed with my head. And I just remember being in first grade and the teachers telling us to line up, one line for boys, one line for girls. And I obviously got in the girl line, and a bunch of girls and boys shouted, "Antonia, you're in the wrong line." And that was in first grade. I don't know where they learned like to be such harsh little kids, but to this day it blows my mind that first graders thought to say something so cruel. But that's the first instance I remember of being bullied. And I think the worst bullying happened when I was in middle school. Middle school is when I was very much overweight. I had been gaining weight in elementary school, but it wasn't until middle school that I got like over 200 pounds. The bullying was constant. It was every single day. It was almost expected. Like, I knew I'm going to school, I'm going to be bullied today. It's just going to happen. And even though I was very much heavily bullied, there was this one instance where I was in library class and we were all standing up, me and the other students, and there was this beautiful girl next to me. She had long black hair, and she was a little short, but everybody was shorter than me. I've always been tall. I'm 6 foot tall, so. And this other girl was behind her, just kicking her leg, like kicking her, physically kicking this girl. And I can't take that. Like, I cannot stand there and just watch something like that happen, and I can't close my mouth. Like, I have to say something. So I didn't even hesitate, and I was like, why are you doing that? And the girl that was kicking her said, because she's ugly. First of all, this girl was beautiful, and so was the girl kicking her. So I was like, oh no, this is not cool. I could not contain myself. I shouted to the teacher, "Teacher, she's kicking her right now." That was not the smartest thing to do, because the teacher then said, "Okay, I'll handle it, but next time just come up to me privately and say it." And that probably would have been a better idea, because after I stood up for the girl that was being kicked, obviously the girl that was kicking her was mad at me for getting her in trouble, getting her suspended. So she started bullying me for the rest of middle school. And it got so bad to the point where I could no longer walk home or take the bus, because her and her posse would find me on my route home and threatened to shoot me, threatened to beat me up, and I was terrified. So for the remainder of middle school, for the other 3 years, I had to wait after school, and we got out at 2:40 p.m. and I had to wait until 4:30 p.m. for my mom to pick me up, just sitting in the school lobby, which wasn't bad because I got to do my homework, but just the fact that it got to that point to where I literally every day had to just sit in the lobby for 3 years. So there was that. There was a time where I was part of the robotics club. Didn't know what I was doing at all, but and there were these two popular boys. They were very handsome, but just bad, like very bad. And I was their main target. So we'd be in class together or in robotics club, and they'd just decide to flick rubber bands at me and make fun of my weight and like place bets on like who can hit me the most. And it was horrible. And they'd constantly call me fat. And I feel like I had a crush on the one boy, which was sad because I thought he was cool, and then he just started doing that, and obviously that crush went away. In 8th grade, there was also these two boys in my homeroom class, and they were just obsessed with bullying me. One of them one time even punched me in the face. I wore glasses up until about 2 years ago, and he decided one morning to punch me in the face outside, and my glasses fell on the ground and they cracked a little bit and my face was swollen. And I got to homeroom after that, and I tell the teacher, and he says, well, do you want me to write up a report? And I said no, just no, because sadly, a lot of the times in school, if the teachers or adults didn't see something happen, they didn't take action to it as much as they would if they saw it happen. And for example, with that, one time I was walking with all of my school books, and this girl pushed me down the stairs, like a long flight of stairs, to where I could have literally died. There was a window, there were a million stairs, and they were hard, and I had books, and she pushed me down the stairs, and the teacher saw it. So in that instance, the teacher was like, oh, you're written up, you're suspended, like immediately. But if a teacher hasn't seen it, then they are kind of skeptical. They don't know what happened. They don't want to take a side. So it was a really messed up situation in school all the time, to get the teachers to like trust me that I was telling the truth. But back to the two boys, the boy that punched me. So that boy would do stuff like that every day. At lunchtime, he would come by and slap me. He'd steal my stuff. He would do horrible things, and obviously constantly call me every name in the book: whale, fat, ugly, just everything, and it was horrible. And his best friend, the other boy, was always mean too. But I noticed that whenever his best friend was by himself, he was actually nice. I think that he was influenced by the boy that punched me and slapped me. He only did those bad things because his friend was doing it, which was very unfortunate. And I think a lot of that happened in school too, to where other kids were bullying kids because their friends were doing it. Another thing that happened, since I was overweight and I've always been very tall, I look intimidating, and I looked intimidating. I looked like I could have been a bully, but no, I never once ever was a bully. Never will be, never was. And a bunch of kids were telling this one girl that I didn't know, that I had gym class with, they were telling her behind my back that I was going to beat her up. What kind of bullying is that? That's like some kind of, that is some serious intertwined bullying, to where I'm being bullied and she's being bullied. So they would torture this girl every day, telling her, that girl Antonia, see that girl Antonia over there? She's gonna beat you up. So one day in gym class, she came up to me shivering, literally shivering, and said, people keep telling me you're gonna beat me up. And I guess she did that because she saw me in gym class and saw that I wasn't a confrontational person. So I guess she wasn't afraid to ask me at that point. And I was like, what? No, I never do that. So I had rumors being told about me that I was a bully. which was the craziest thing because ironically, I was the person being the most bullied in the freaking school. And the last instance that I'm going to tell you about, which is very much still very clear in my brain and I wish it wasn't, is there was this boy in my grade and I was his favorite subject to bully. And even though he would bully me all the time, there was one time that my sister and I, yes, I have an older sister, follow her on Instagram at Adventure Rebels. My sister and I went for a walk to get some pizza at our favorite pizza place in Philadelphia where we used to live. And we're just having a great day. We're having sister time. It's adorable. We're excited because pizza. And I hear a voice. So I turn around and it's this boy that always bullies me. And since I'm such a happy-go-lucky person and forgiving and I don't hold grudges and I just think positively and see the good in people all the time, my first thought was to say, oh, hi, to this boy that literally tortures me every day. So I turn around and I smile happily because I'm seeing somebody that I usually only see in school in real life. And I'm like, hi. And he is with his sister as well. And they just laugh evilly at me saying hi. And I was like, okay, I was trying to be nice. And him and his sister both call me Fat A. And that kind of upset me. And then my sister was like, come on, let's just, it's okay, don't pay attention to them. And I was like, that's messed up, because I just was kind to someone and they came back with that. And my sister actually says, don't call her that. My sister is the sweetest. Like, she's so sweet, not intimidating at all. She's literally the cutest human in the world. So she's like, don't call her that. And at that point, the bully and his sister come up to us and they show us their pocket and there's a gun. And the sister lifts it up and kind of puts it in our face's direction and says, you want to get shot? Do you know how terrifying that was? To have a gun pointing at your face? I can't even comprehend why it even got to that point when literally there wasn't even a problem. I don't understand. So literally they point a gun at our face and my sister's like, let's just go. And then we go to the pizza place and we just try to get away from them. And for some reason didn't call the police. But if we did, I don't even know if that would have been a good idea, because they might not have done anything. And I go to school with this kid and he already every day bullies me to no end. So I can imagine what he would have done if we would have done that. Because he would have known that it would have been us that called the police. So that was probably the most, other than being pushed down the stairs, that was probably one of the most intense and mentally scarring things that has happened to me. But like I said, there's so many more stories that I have. I was literally bullied constantly, called all kinds of names, all kinds of things were done, things were said, just everything. But I'm saying my story because even through it all, even though I was the subject of everyone's bullying, I was the main target, I still chose to stand up for others. And this tattoo that says stand up on my arm, I got that when I was 17, and it actually is for anti-bullying, because I've always been passionate about standing up for others. And that's for everything, whether it's in bullying, in life, standing up for love and equality. No matter how bad it was for me, I still stood up for others. And I just want to express the importance of not just standing there and watching or taking out your phone and filming a video, but actually doing something to make a change, to make someone's life better or easier, or be there for somebody. Whether it's happening to you or it's happening to somebody else that you may or may not know, always tell someone about it so that hopefully you can stop what's happening to that person and potentially other people. I personally cannot just stand there and watch somebody being tortured, being hurt, being called a name, being disrespected. I cannot do it. I can't do it. My mouth just is like, bleh. Like I can't shut up. I can't stand there. I can't just walk past it. I have to do something. And it's really important that we all care. Even if we don't know a person, that doesn't mean don't care just because you don't know who this person is. It's important that we care about each other because we're all we have. And I'm pretty sure most of us have gone through bullying in our lives, or we've gone through an experience that hurt us or that has left a mental scar on our brains that we wish we could forget. And if we could prevent that for other people in the world, we should do it. We should stand up for others. And it's also important that we never, ever stoop so low to bully the bully back, or bully anyone in that matter. Not once in my whole life have I ever bullied one person. 0 people, none, because there's no point in it. What is the point of hurting someone? What is that doing for you, honestly? If somebody bullies you and you bully them back, what is that doing? What is that doing for you? Did it fix anything? It either is going to make it worse, or you're just hurting the person back. So you're just constantly hurting each other. We need to stop it. Always be the bigger person. Always be kind, because kindness is rewarded with kindness, and that good karma comes around. Stooping to the level of hurting someone else is not going to do anything positive for your life. I promise you that. I promise. Because bullying not only hurts the person that you're bullying, but it hurts you. Because later on in life, you may remember the things that you've done to a person, and you will very much regret it. And it may haunt you for the rest of your life, because as an adult, after time, you may realize that that was very messed up what you did, and you are a changed person, and you don't want to hurt people. So you don't know the long-term effects that it's going to have on you or the other person. That other person that you bullied may still not be over what you were bullied about. There are times where I still get insecure about being called a boy or being called ugly. So here I am being a voice for anti-bullying, and I will always do that. And I just want you all to be strong, and be strong enough to stand up for yourself and to stand up for others, and strong enough to stay true to yourself and stay kind in every situation, no matter how hard it gets. Stay kind, never stoop to their level. And always spread love, because if we all just spread a little bit more love and be more kind to everyone that we come across in life, in school, in whatever it is that you do, then maybe, just maybe, people will be nicer and bullying will lessen. And I can only hope that you take on that pledge with me to just be a kind human. I love you all so much. I'm here for you. I understand what you've gone through. I've gone through it too. I know it's hard. I know it hurts. I understand. But we have to be more kind. And I will see you in the next video.